Hi everyone, I'm Holly from Femme, Fatale, Paranormal Research. I am one of the co-founders along with Susie Farah. Last week, Susie told you guys about one of her more memorable paranormal experiences, and this week I'm going to tell you about one of mine. So, for the past 3.5 years, I've been a part of Wilmington Paranormal Research, more specifically the president. And through this organization, I've been on a lot of investigations. So it's really actually hard to pinpoint my favorite and most memorable paranormal experiences because there's been so many. I would say definitely one of them is when we investigated the old Charleston jail, obviously in Charleston, South Carolina. Some of you may know it from episodes of Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters. Both of those groups have been there. But during this particular investigation, it was highly active throughout the entire night. I've only one or two other investigations I've experienced that much activity. It was ridiculous and it was kind of terrifying, especially since I decided to bring 6 or 7 brand new investigators, and it was their first ever investigation, not my smartest idea ever. So I try to take a very scientific, straightforward approach to the paranormal. We go on investigations. The way I like to conduct them is that if we have no natural explanation for what we just witnessed or heard, then we'll deem it as paranormal in the moment, go back, try to debunk it again. If not, then we have something that can't be explained. Which doesn't mean that it can't eventually be explained. I just think science is kind of lagging behind in that aspect. So to me, feelings, sudden emotions that are quote unquote caused by paranormal activity are very subjective. I don't really take any kind of credence in any of that because your mind can very easily overstimulate you and just kind of put you on edge, especially if you already know that you're going into a place that's supposedly or reportedly haunted and you've seen episodes of Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters and whatever on it, and they've had crazy activity there. Like, you're gonna already be psyching yourself up, like whether or not you were like, you know about it yourself, whether or not it's conscious to you. There's some underlying anxious feelings there. And so I never kind of take feelings very seriously. I mean, I like to be safe, so if an investigator does start feeling lightheaded or scared or anxious or angry, I walk them out. I have someone else walk them out. It's not saying that your feelings aren't real. It's just saying that they might not, I don't really believe they're caused by paranormal entities until this particular investigation. So if any of you know me, you know that I'm a pretty relaxed person when I'm on my anxiety medication, joke aside, but I'm pretty laid back. I try to be in good humor. I'm quick to joke around. I don't think I take anything too seriously. But during one of the sessions, it was myself, Susie, our former vice president for Wilmington Paranormal Research, Jessica Jackson, and Hannah Magnosa, the current vice president of Wilmington Paranormal Research. We were down in the basement. I can't remember right now what they called it. But the basement of the building, throughout history, it was used as like kind of a ward for like patients, and then kind of experimental laboratory for war victims, prisoners of war, etc. So it's a pretty gruesome place. A lot of amputations, a lot of deaths in that one particular area. So we were down there asking questions, obviously, and all of a sudden I just got really angry. So normally, to give you kind of some background, a session is where we stand in a room and ask questions to seemingly nothing at the time and see if we get responses. Normally these sessions last around 20 or so minutes, depending on the activity we're getting or if we're even getting anything. So at the time, everyone else in the room perceived that we weren't really getting a lot of activity. It was 22 minutes into the session. Jessica and Susie were like, hey, let's wrap this up. And I got insanely angry and irritated, and I was like, no, we're staying. Like, we're staying, we're getting stuff. I want to stay, and we need to stay. Like, I was yelling at them, and they were just taken aback because I mean, I've gotten irritated with them before because we're friends, obviously. But it's nothing like where I'd yell about them. I'd be like, okay, whatever. But nothing to the point where I don't even think I remember a time in my life where I've actually yelled at someone because I've been angry. So it was a pretty dramatic experience, and everyone in the room was like, what the hell is going on? Are you okay? Like, we need to leave. And I was just infuriated. I was like, no, we have to stay. Like, we just have to stay. And then on my left side, kind of near the back, I just hear this low growl, and it's this most scared I've ever been. I like on a paranormal investigation, and I don't get scared on paranormal investigations. Not even really when there's supposedly demons in the house. And I'm not saying I believe in demons, but I'm not saying that I don't either. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. Yeah, it was really intense, and no one else in the room heard it except me, and we didn't get an audio. So I could be crazy too, so that's a viable solution to that. But yeah, that was probably one of my more intense investigations. Also in that investigation, one of my investigators got pushed and kind of attacked to the point where he was having an anxiety attack, and I had to take him out. And two of my investigators, I believe, had to leave because they got immensely sick. And then on the last session, we were leaving. I was saying like the standard goodbye to malicious spirits, like you can't follow us home, you have no permission. And when we were viewing the audio later, clear as day, one of the entities had told us to get out. Oh yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Please continue to support us. All the support is greatly appreciated, especially in our future endeavors. And I'm really excited to get going on this documentary with you guys and to share it with you all. So I'll see you next week, and I hope you guys continue sharing your stories with us.